We got Nevada going on the road to take on Wyoming. It's a 12 o'clock game, Mountain Time, on Mountain West Network. I don't want to say this is a consolation game, but it feels that way. You got Nevada 2-8 in the season, 1-5 in Mountain West play, going up against a 4-6 Wyoming team, 2-4 in Mountain West play. For Wyoming, there's a very slim chance, but it's there. If they could get a win here, that they need to win one more, and they'll be 6-6 on the season, possibly going to a bowl game. But from what you've seen the past 2 weeks, do you really believe it? A 24-7 defeat against San Diego State, and most recently a 24-3 loss against Fresno State. This Cowboys team just proves that they can't really score. Defense, it's can only do so much if you're not putting points on the board. As for Nevada, they're coming off their best win of the season. 55-10 defeat over San Jose State. A huge victory, good win for them. They deserve it. Carter Jones, Caleb Ramser, Chuba Purdy all played their butts off. Just great performance. You got Wyoming coming in as 6.5 point favorites. The over/under on this one's 41.5. It could be a close game. It could be another huge Nevada victory based off of what we've seen from Wyoming and their lack of offense. Nevada, similarly to Air Force, the record speaks for itself, but in those games they've stood in it for a little bit, and they've proven to have some fight in them. They just really can't finish that strong. A lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes, but Nevada has just shown a little more fight recently than Wyoming has. If nothing else, they've proven the last week that they can put points on the board, and they do it against a decent team in San Jose State that, despite their record, was able to beat teams like Hawaii and New Mexico. So Nevada just has a little more fight to them. They've established a little bit more of an offense, and it's funny because the first 7 weeks, Nevada just had an atrocious offense that really couldn't put points on the board. From what we've seen, like Wyoming, for Nevada, they've accounted for 17 interceptions between their bunch of quarterbacks compared to Wyoming's 10 interceptions. The difference is those 10 interceptions came from Caden Anderson alone. He's been a quarterback that's shown flashes of good play, but it's been scarcely seen the past few weeks. These teams are basically neck and neck in their lack of scoring. Wyoming's 17 points per game to Nevada's 18 points per game. Wyoming -4 on the turnover ratio. Compared to Nevada, they're -11 on the turnover ratio. Just bad football for these teams this season, and unfortunately it sort of just has rollen over from last season. Both these teams are at the bottom of Mountain West in 2024, and they're going to be bottom of the Mountain West in 2025 season as well. I certainly have talked about how bad of a team Nevada has been this season, and oddly enough, you sort of feel a little bit more confident in what they may be able to produce than this Wyoming team. Now, Wyoming does have a great defense. They've sort of fallen off in the past 3 or 4 weeks, but that's just lack of offense, lack of maintaining the football for the Cowboys. And despite Nevada being 1-5 in their last 5 games, they've just shown a little bit more fight. They gave New Mexico a run for their money. They gave Boise State, a tough competition on a Friday night matchup. They get killed against Utah State, sure, but then they, come back and get a huge victory against San Jose State. So I would just say the Wolfpack, despite their record, seem to be a little more willing to put up a fight, and they've shown that they still want to win games in this season despite how it may turn out. Something has me feeling that even though Wyoming's at home and have been a little bit more of a consistent team, that I just don't favor them in this matchup. I think it's gonna be a close game. I would not be surprised if Nevada is able to get back-to-back wins despite their records and sort of their poor play from both teams we've seen this season. I think this is going to be a pretty good matchup. I think it's going to be closer than expected, and I'm not sure who's going to come out on top on this one, but I think it will produce a pretty good Mountain West game late in November. It's Nevada going on to take on Wyoming. It's a noon game Mountain Time on Mountain West Network. Be sure to check this one out.